pressing the snooze since 5 o'clock this morning. Look at this. I thought I was gonna have myself a nice breakfast. No, I'm late, okay? Late. I'm sitting in the car right now. We're on lunch break, but there is too many people in there, so I'm not gonna wait in line to get lunch. I haven't started backing up yet, because there's like 45 people that need to back up. So I haven't, my go is next. So after break, which is probably about another 20-30 minutes, it's gonna be my group's turn to back up. That's gonna be exciting, but can I be honest with y'all? I'm homesick. I miss my husband, I miss my children, I miss my bed, I miss my life. I miss my life. I'm really pretending like I'm crying, but I really actually feel like I want to cry. Hello, you guys. So I am going home. What happened, Tanzania? Why are you going home? You're supposed to be a truck driver, honey. I just got in the truck. I just finished backing. I can show you the range now because I am going home. If you can see them, they're going forward and they're backing up in between cones. That's what I was just doing. And I don't understand what they're looking for. I don't understand what he's looking for. When I say what he's looking for, they're kind of panning the mirrors, scanning the mirrors, and then backing up some kind of way. Like, there's a certain way that you have to back up in between the cones, but I don't see what he's asking for, right? And I said that, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking about, but you're overthinking and you need to stop. And I said, you know what? Let me put this thing in park. Which, by the way, you can't park it like you park your car. So I even had to think about how you do that. And I was like, let somebody else have a turn. And then I watched the other person have their go. And I still didn't even see what the other person was looking for. And he was looking confused. He said he was nervous and he was looking confused. And I'm like, so we're just going to sit in here and just pretend like we know what we're doing, backing up this 80,000 pound vehicle? Well, it's not 80,000 pounds right now because it doesn't have a load in it, but it is the tractor and the trailer, so it's still dangerous. It's still heavy equipment, okay? And I would hate to lose my life on behalf of my family, and I would hate to take someone's life on the behalf of their family. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what I'm doing and I don't. And the program is 3 weeks, mind you. So in 3 weeks, I have to go from, and I'm not saying I thought it was going to be easy. That's not it. And I still think that it's a great idea if you're the type of person. This is a great academy. It's the best academy that you can go to for truck driving. Kllm Academy. There's different locations. This location is in Lancaster. I can say that now because I'm going home. This is the best program that you can go to. The program is 100% free. I've showed you guys over the last, 4 or 5 days, all of the things that are inclusive in the program, but it is fast paced. That means you have to keep up and you have to know what's going on, because in 3 weeks, you're going to be taking a full blown driving exam in this truck, like where you're going on the road. You have to get it. And yeah, you could fake and get it. Like, if you think about it, think about how long it took you to actually learn how to drive your car. Like, to be confident in backing up, to be confident in parallel parking. I'm just getting that. And I've been driving since I was 17. I'm 28. So I've been doing it for a long time. So 3 weeks to learn how to be, like, proficient in driving this vehicle. You can't tell me that someone coming straight out of school is proficient in driving this vehicle. That's dangerous. I'm not looking forward to killing myself or anyone else. Like I said, I'm not going to be a part of that. If you know about trucks and you can handle the fast pace of not having like word for word, direction for direction instructions, this is a great place for you to go. If you know nothing about trucks, if you don't speak truck language, I would say find a different school to go to, because like I said, there was 40 something people waiting to get in this truck. And if you do not understand, it's 4 people go at a time. They're not going to spend extra time to make sure that you understand. So I said, let me get out of this truck and give someone this seat, because like I told you guys earlier, they were only doing 4 people at a time. So there's a 4th person who could get in here and make their dreams come true in this truck. And I'm going to let them do that. So I got out of the truck, went inside, and I'm just waiting on my paperwork. My marriage license and my birth certificate that my husband overnighted, it's in the office across the street, so I need to get it, and that's what I'm waiting on. I'm probably going to spend the night in the hotel, so I'm going to have myself a nice meal, because I get to skate tomorrow morning when I get home. So nobody's going to be home when I get home tomorrow. I'm going to leave tomorrow morning. Like, it's already, I think by the time I leave here, it's probably going to be 3 o'clock. The traffic will be too bad for me to try to leave now, so I'm going to head home in the morning time. And I'm still excited. I'm excited to go home. I'm really excited to go home. I told y'all earlier I was homesick, but I know for a fact getting in that truck and backing up, that's not going to work for me. Every single time I have to back up, every single time I have to drop off a load or go to a foreign place, I would be stressed the hell out. And yes, I just said stressed the hell out. And there's a difference, because yes, sometimes doing massages and going in random places stresses me out, but nothing like this, because I know I'm not about to kill nobody with what I'm about to do. Yeah, you can't do some things that could hurt somebody, but like I said, I stay in my lane. Y'all know I stay in my lane. I don't do stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. And this, I have seen people's lives changed in a good way. Like I told you guys last night, because they make a lot of money, but now I know why they make a lot of money. And let me tell you something, massage therapists make a lot of money too. And guess who could be massaging at home at night? It's me. I'm going home. So I'm going to pack up my hotel room. I probably won't show you guys that. But yeah, we'll finish this video. I don't know, but I'll probably give this video to you guys. No, I'll include some stuff when I get home tomorrow in this video. So stay tuned. So I'm sitting here in the room. I am about to pack up and go home. But before I do that, I want to give a review of this school. The school is Kllm Academy. That's the school that I am at. I am here in Dallas. I'm a little outside of Dallas in a place called DeSoto. And a little further up where the school actually is called Lancaster, Texas. So I could not get much footage of the school, but believe me when I tell you that the school is beautiful. It's pretty. If you have never been to like college, like a college campus, like a dorm with cafeteria and vending machines and all that kind of stuff, this is that kind of experience. The guys, like I said before, they tend to stay upstairs, and then when there's no room for them upstairs, they put them in hotels. They use 2 hotels here. One of them is the hotel I'm staying at, and that is the Kllm Best Western. And the other hotel is called Mainstay, and it's very short distance away from the school, but it's not as nice as this hotel. Still a nice hotel, but it's not the Kllm Best Western, honey. So they put all of the ladies here no, not all of the ladies, because some ladies were at the Mainstay. They put all the ladies in hotels, period. But some of the guys do go up in the dorms. I understand, just seeing the atmosphere, I understand why they would not put all of the ladies there. It's probably not the best thing to do. Let me get my microphone. I always forget my mic. All right, you guys should be able to hear me a little better. Yes, so they put all the ladies in the hotel room. Out of the 2 hotels, you will not stay in the dorms if you are a young lady. They probably do that for a good reason, like I said before. So let's say you message them today. Today is Thursday. Let's say you message them on a Thursday. You could start school on Monday. If you do not have a car and you cannot drive in, now you have to be within the states that allow you to go to this location. So I don't know if only Texans can go to this location, but you have to look up that information. If you are able to go to this location, you can, like I said, today's Thursday. You can start on the class on Monday. They have classes that start every single Monday. If you can drive in, I would drive in personally, because if you can't drive in, you're going to be left at the mercy of the school to get you to and from. Like, they do trips to Walmart every Monday. But you're going to be left at the mercy of the school to handle things like that. But they do take care of bus fares. Now, let's say something happens and you get kicked out. Like, you do something, you'll handle business, and you get kicked out. You're going to be responsible for hotels and getting back to wherever it is that you need to be. They're not going to pay for that. So that's something to think about. But also, so let me talk about this too while I'm here. I'm trying to go in stages because I don't have notes. I'm running out the dome before I pack up my room. So you come there, and you guys go watch the videos that I did about the first few days. Those days are all about paperwork, all about taking tests, because you have to pass your permit test. At no point later on in the program will you have to do a written test like that one, but you have to pass that one first. Anytime you get your CDL, you must pass your permit test. The difference with this academy and other academies is most of the time they make you study and pass your permit test on your own. This school does all of that in-house. You can come with absolutely no experience, no permit test, nothing, and you can hop straight in class and by day 5 be in the truck, as long as you pass your exam. So you only get 2 days to pass those permitted exams. So the people who failed yesterday got a chance to retake the test that they failed today. If you fail the test today, you have to then do what all the other schools make you do, and that is take the permit test on your own, and then you get to come back to this school on the Thursday and resume where you left off. So if you're not like a good test taker, I would advise that you study. I'm trying to think of materials that would help you study. I'll link some of the videos below for you guys, the ones that I use. And keep in mind, I know nothing about any of these things, but this is what I used. I'm a good test taker because I understand there are some things that you must understand, but I don't know anything about the industry. You know what I mean? Like, I just know how to take a test. So, those videos, as well as the apps and Quizlet. I really love Quizlet because it forces you to read the question and then it forces you to know the answer. It's not like a multiple choice situation. You have to know the answer in order to get through the Quizlet. So once you get through those a bunch of times, you're going to know the information like this. Now, applying the information is something totally different, but you can't even get to applying the information if you don't pass the CDL test. So that is something to keep in mind. They do provide for you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you get to all of those meals, that would be depending on how you schedule your day. If you drive, like let's say you drive, right? There's a shuttle from the hotel that brings you back to the school. You would be at the discretion of the shuttle time. But since I drove this morning, I think I left at 6:20. I could have stayed here till 6:30, ate breakfast at the hotel, and then went off to the school and chilled out like that. So it's all up to you, how you eat, how you plan. It's all up to you. The lunch, I can tell you that the lunch, I haven't seen the breakfast at all because I didn't go and see the breakfast. The lunch and dinner that the school provide is spot on. It is good food. They're Hispanic ladies in the kitchen, and honey, that food was good. That's all I'm gonna say. I showed you guys some of the food that I've had here, and I think I didn't show you the stew that they had today. It was a beef stew, and I was like, this is gonna taste like Progressive beef stew, from the can. No, honey. I thought I was eating Caribbean food. It was good. So anyways, they're going to provide food for you. Like I said, this hotel has a mini fridge so you can bring your own stuff. The rooms in the dorms, I believe, have mini fridges so you can bring your own stuff. But it literally is like a college campus in the way that you're here learning. I'm not going to say you're going to be able to take a vacation, especially not during the first portion. And there's a lot of pre-trip, and so there's a lot of studying. For all 3 weeks you're here, you're going to be studying most of that time. But I'm not saying that you can't have fun while you're here. So if you're interested in that, I would totally recommend this school, hands down. And did I mention you don't have to pay for nothing? Now, I did want to mention this part because it will help you know why I'm going home today. So after you sign the contract, we signed the contract on Tuesday. You have 72 hours to say, hey, this isn't for me. Before, you owe them $4,000. You owe them for the full price of the program. So that's something to consider. If you know early on this is not for you, like when I got in that truck, I knew just the learning style in actual driving, that wasn't going to be for me. So no, if I would wait till tomorrow, I would owe them $4,000. And just a little backstory, I learned how to drive. I did not go to driving school. No one formally taught me how to drive like in a car. I got in the car because the person who came to pick me up They like to be under the influence. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in danger. I'm going to learn how to drive. And I learned how to drive that way, just kind of by being all over the road, putting my life and others' lives in danger, really. That's how I learned how to drive. But I had to get it. And after about a week or two, I got the hang of it. And I started driving. But this is different. Like I said, this is a lot of equipment. So, and I'm not saying this in any way to discourage anyone, because like I said, if you can do it, even if you want to try to do it, come and try and do it. It's free. Come and try and do it. So imagine, like, you know, like a ribbon, like that goes in the wind, like a little banner. Imagine trying to back that up. Like this truck kind of goes like a snake as you back it up. It's a lot to be thinking about, and then thinking about people walking in front of the truck, people on the road, and no, honey, my brain's not wired like that. So it's not for me, but I would 100% recommend this academy. Like this environment, how this school is, I wish that the massage school that I went to was like this. No, we're not gonna do that. Scratch that. But the way that they have it set up was kind of like an ongoing program, and there's no strings tied. Like no one, it's very, here are the instructors, get the information. If you get the information, cool. If you don't, move on. It's like that. The massage school that I went to wasn't like that. So I can appreciate this learning environment style for that, in that it's very much, if you get it, you get it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So yes, there's that. I am excited to go home. I'm excited to go home, and I know Kitty doesn't know I'm coming home yet, of course, but I'm sure they're excited too. I know my husband's excited. He's like, honey, look, I know that I could do all of this. I could take care of the house and I could take care of the kids, but I don't have to do it alone. And God has a real funny way of making you appreciate the life that you've been giving, because I appreciate my life so much more. I appreciate my family. And it's not that I didn't appreciate it before, but I appreciate being able to be at home every night. I appreciate the fact that I don't have to work hard. Like some people are here because this is their way out, and I commend them 100%. And I pray that they get it. And I pray that if you're watching this video and you're looking for a way out, you're looking for a way to make more money, and massage therapy ain't your thing, okay? You're looking for a way to support yourself and support your family, and you don't have anything, and you just want to make something happen. I 100% say get into trucking. Get into trucking, and if you are a person who your mind allows you to do things like this, I think it's an awesome opportunity. And I think this academy, Kllm Academy, is the best. It is the best in the business for it. So I would highly, highly recommend it. So if you have any other questions about that, be sure to ask them in the comments. Like I said, this video is going to continue with me going home, but I did want to add this information while it was fresh on my mind. Okay, so while I'm doing that, I actually want to do a list of things that I don't like. And this is not about the academy. This is just about what I've seen so far, is that I don't like the push of unhealthiness. I don't like the push of, smoking and sitting and eating and drinking sodas, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like that even furthered my perception of, like, to be well is life. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have your health, if your health isn't intact, you don't really have much. You don't have much. And that's not to say that if something has happened and your health has taken a turn, that you don't have much. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying what you do have about your health. Like, if, let's say your eyesight, you have your eyesight, and it might not mean much to you, but it's a lot. You can hear, and it might not mean much to you, but it's a lot. And you can walk, and that might not mean much to you, but it's a lot. I don't like the lack of awareness that surrounds those kind of things in the industry. especially because of my background. And my background is massage and wellness and all of this, because that's just things that they resonate with me. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I like to live my life. And I definitely think it's something to keep an eye on. Like, I don't want, excessive alcohol drinking and stuff like that. Like, you like a party lifestyle. You remember The Deadliest Catch? Kind of how they have like they make a lot of money when they go on the boat, and then when they come home, they live these like rock star lives. It's kind of like that. So that's one thing that I didn't necessarily like. But I could imagine that you, especially if you don't have any children or family or something like that, or even if you do, you can still find a way to navigate that. I just don't want anyone to let that slip their mind, that you're going to have to find a way to navigate that, because to sit down and to eat, and to drink, and to go to sleep at the end of the day, not to stop at the truck stop and exercise, but to go to sleep at the end of the day, is a surefire way to put you in a health status that won't keep you in that truck for long. Okay, and another thing I didn't like is, if you guys can't tell by now, I'm not a mean girl. I'm not a mean girl, okay? I'm a nice girl. I am a nice girl. I do not believe in being mean to people. I don't think that you need to be ugly. I don't think that you need to talk to people reckless. As a lady, I've seen a lot of the ladies that I came across, they give all, and I'm not saying everybody has to be this way, but I do understand how it's hard to combat because it's so male dominated. I'm not willing to give up my femininity by being rude and aggressive and a mean girl. I'm not willing to do that. So that was another thing that I saw a lot of and I didn't like. I actually spend a lot of time sitting by myself, honestly, which there's no problem with that, girl. I love me, okay? And I don't mind sitting by myself, but a lot of that was because I'm not willing to sit around and talk about people, talk down to people, be loud, be rude, be nasty to people just for a seat at the table. And on the other side of that, I'm not willing to be over-sexualized and nasty to get a seat at the other table. Because some people think that, like some women think that being overly sexual and being overly, like showing off your body and your assets over, you know what I mean? Like overly, like going overkill with it makes you more feminine. But it's that hungry hunter mentality is very masculine. And I'm not willing to give up that either. All right, so I'm all packed up. Got my wagon right here fully loaded, my suitcase. And I'm just doing like a little once over, make sure I did not forget any of my things. And I'm pretty sure I checked, because I packed all this stuff last night. So I'm pretty sure I got everything. But I'm about to head out. I'm just gonna pack up my car. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack up my car and then eat some breakfast. It is, let's see, 6:56, so I should be home at before lunchtime, around lunchtime. Definitely before, yeah, I'll definitely be there before everyone gets home. I already checked this closet right here, and yeah, I didn't forget anything. Everything's packed up, all my chargers, so I am ready to go. All right, so I am in the car. Oops. I'm in the car. It's 38 degrees outside. So I'm just letting it warm up a bit. Just having some breakfast. Let me tell y'all. So this furthers y'all can see the hotel back there now. This furthers my explanation about last night, about just about the environment, right? So the hotel serves breakfast starting at 6. The school also serves breakfast starting at 6. The hotel knows that there are students here at the hotel before the shuttle comes get them, so before 7 o'clock. And when I tell you, these sisters locked up the refrigerator where the yogurt was, they would only put out like eggs. They wouldn't put out bacon and all that kind of stuff. They literally will wait till the shuttle leave to put this stuff out. And that's what I was thinking before when I saw the people waiting around for the food and no food coming. But today when I had a full breakfast and the lady even said, "Is everything okay?" They were dodging the other people. You didn't even see, you either didn't see them, or when you saw them, they were moving in and out, acting like they don't speak English, and other things like that. I'm not trying to say anything about them not speaking English, but they went out of their way to ignore the students who were there because they knew they were trying to get food. And I do understand, because the school provides lunch as well, but you don't know the situation. And the school is also paying good money for the people to stay at the hotel. So it don't matter if you think they should be eating or not. They have paid for them to eat the food just as any other guest. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go home. I just got an email with my CLP in it, which is my permit. And that's exciting. And when I got that, I realized now I could take that permit and go to another school, maybe in my area. And I think that's what I may do. I just need to get home right now. Like, I just miss home. And missing home and having people talk to me like I'm crazy, just not having the patience, maybe going through a longer program. Because 3 weeks ain't enough. How about you? Is 3 weeks enough for you? 3 weeks ain't. There's a person at your front door. Why is a person at my front door? 3 weeks isn't enough. And I didn't think it. No, I did think it through. I thought it was going to be different. So, yeah. I'm about to go home. It's 7:22. So I will talk to you when I get home. I'm about to stop by the gas station first. But I'll talk to you guys when I get home. Alright, I am driving back from Dallas right now. I have about, I don't know, hour and a half left to go. And I just had a thought. And that is, don't discredit how God can do exactly what he told you that he would do. I know some of my followers are Christian, some not, and I always say that's fine, because it is fine. Honey, we all human, okay? And sometimes you get this word about your future. You get this, remember I told you guys in one of my last videos, I speak about it a lot. Sometimes you get a vision, you get information about your future, okay? And the Bible says we only prophesy in part. So that means, yeah, you might see it, but you have no clue how it's going to come to pass. And the person that says they know exactly how the thing is going to come to pass, that they are prophesying, that they are foreseeing in the future, they are lying. Okay, remember I told y'all that's the psychic foolishness, that yeah, it might be true information, but it's only a piece of the information. You're not getting all of the details about the information, which is why I don't care if someone can't predict my future. I want to listen to the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit knows the ins and outs and knows the direction that I should go in. Despite, I'm not so much worried about the end picture of where I will land up, the destination, but I'm more concerned about the journey to get to that destination. And not just, oh, okay, so you say I'm be a millionaire? Got it, give me the $1 million. Not thinking about all of the things that come in between that million. So when I get there, I want my mental health to be intact. I want my health to be intact. I want my family to be intact. I want my children to be well. I want to be able to touch every life that is assigned to my life. And when I say that, I mean when you were born, there was a problem that only your life could solve. Which is, like I said, why you don't worry about people coming in and taking your space. Like, people like, oh, I don't want to start a YouTube. I remember I was working at Joanne Fabric, and the lady was like, she was doing like a baby doll, like Barbie doll stuff, and making little designs and stuff. And I said, why don't you start a YouTube channel? Oh, I can't do that. There are people who are doing it better than me. Well, it doesn't matter, because the lane that you're supposed to be in, nobody else can take up space in that lane unless you say, I simply don't want it. But I said all that to say, because I was given this revelation about my life, right? About being able about people not being on medication, okay? And it was when I had got out of massage school, I was like actively in my practice. And it was a desire in my heart, and still is, that people, and I always say this, that people don't lean 100% on doctors, on medication to fix things, to fix spiritual issues. Really, most of the time it is an issue of the spirit, an issue of the heart of a person, and not necessarily an issue that can be solved by medication. I believe that we can get to the root of that we can fix some things in our lives, fix some things in our mind, that then our body must follow suit, okay? Because if you're doing the thing that God told you that you should be doing, you better believe that your health is going to come into alignment to get you to do that thing, right? So I was in, like I was saying, I got this revelation about my life, and I automatically thought like, hey, it's gonna be massage. Like, I'm gonna be touching, healing, and doing all, that's gonna be me. And I definitely got that snatched right from under me and being like, you're not God. And I will go into more detail about that in a later video, but we are not God. The massage therapist even that says that, you know, their hands are healing and they can touch you and you can be healed, you're not God. Not even Jesus did not proclaim to be God, okay? Every time somebody tried to put respect on his name in that way, he said, no, the glory goes up, okay? Don't try to put that on me. That's what happened with Satan, okay? That's what happened with Satan. You somebody praising you for God's works, and you say, yep, that's me. You better believe it. No. Okay? So, yeah, even the massage therapist is like, yeah, child, I got healing hands. Well, you do to a certain extent, but you only have it if you have gained, if God has given you access to heal a person in that moment. You just not healing people, okay? I want to get that out of the way. I'm glad I got that out of the way. But anyways, I was saying all that to say I didn't think that this experience would even further my goal and like my mission in that, my bringing to pass this vision. And it reminded me that you only know sometimes, and not everyone has a big picture, gets the final picture. Like, this is what's going to look like in the end, baby. Not everybody knows that. But if you are a person who does know that, somebody has prophesied into your life, and I ain't talking about no false prophets. I'm talking about somebody's prophesied into your life, or God has given you a vision and given you a word about your life. Just know that you might not know how that thing is going to come to pass. Because when I was at this truck school, this has nothing to do with how I am as a person. Like I said, I'm not the mean girl, and sitting down all day is not my thing. I'm very much a mover and a shaker, and I love wellness, okay? So it definitely was out of my element. But as I was driving, I'm like, Lord, can you give me what was that all about? And then I remember when I made the video about the DOT physical. That video has gotten a lot of love. And I love the love that it has gotten, because I hope that some people who are looking to go into that industry, this industry, that industry, whatever, looking to go into truck driving, they look at that video and they realize that it's a commitment to yourself to keep connection with your health, okay? Yeah, I get it, you're making money, but you won't make money if you are not healthy. You won't be able to do it. You know what I mean? So I was just riding and thinking about that. Like, I'm grateful that even when I don't know, the Holy Spirit has full knowledge of everywhere that he leads me, you know? That everyone is concerned with packing plates, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, liquor on the weekends. Like, dude, that was driving me mad. And not mad in a way of like, ugh, that's disgusting. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because they don't know what they're doing. Like, you don't know what you're doing to your body. And I'm not saying you can't have cookies and cakes and pies. I love cookies, cakes, and pies. The funnel cake truck was in my area yesterday, and I missed it. I love a cookie, cake, and a pie, okay? And a donut. I love a little juice. I had some apple juice this morning. I haven't had apple juice in years. But to do that every single day and to couple it with a drink on the weekend, like every single weekend, like no, at the end of every single work day, no. I am afraid not. My dear. It's bad. And then to tie all of that into absolutely no working out. Outside of walking in and out of this truck stop to pay for your gas and to take a shower. And some people are lucky. Not lucky. I don't even want to say it's lucky, because I feel like if you're eating and you're not gaining weight and you're not getting this little light saying this not healthy, it pushes you to do that even more. So you'll hear people say like, oh, my metabolism is fast, I don't have to worry about that. Honey, you do have to worry about high blood pressure. You do have to worry about diabetes. Like it's not only a fat person problem, it's also a problem of what you're eating and how much stress you're putting on your body. Because that's my issue. I have to control my stress, honey. I cannot be stressed out because my health is important to me. I can't be stressed out. I can't. And earlier on in my life, I say that like I'm old, but earlier on, I could handle it a little more. You know what I mean? Because I just could handle it a little more. It didn't bother me as much. Now, honey. I don't deal with crap like that. And it's not saying that I love people. I also love progressing people. I love people to progress. I don't want to stay stuck. I don't want you to stay stuck, and I don't want you to try to stick me. And like I said, I'm a nice girl. I don't like toxic environments. Is that the word? Yeah. Toxic environments, no matter how much money you're being paid, is not what's up. So I don't know what's next. I don't know where we're going. Y'all coming, right? The channel is going like this, honey. But one thing remains. I will always aspire to inspire you. That is the one thing that remains. Like I always say, align your life with God's desires for you and manifest every single thing that He says is yours. What is this, a drive story time? So I'm driving still. I'm almost home. Let me put these in so that I can get better sound quality. Yeah, I have about 70 miles left until I get home. But I was like, Tanzania. So I told you guys about me conquering my fear of hills. And though I just said the other thing that I think came out of this experience that's that I'm going to keep on my mission to become healthier myself, and then to inform others who wouldn't necessarily have the information about things as it relates to health. I'm going to continue to do that. But I was like, how did I come to the place where I was scared of hills and bridges? And this experience has helped me conquer that 100%. I can say without a doubt, thank you, Jesus, that I went through this, because it didn't fully consume me, but it started to play with me a little bit. And now I have a new appreciation for my four wheels on this ground, okay? I have a new appreciation for it. I'm comfortable with it. It's cool. I can see, you see all these mirrors right here? I can see everything that's going around this car for the most part. Of course, I can't see like the back of the trunk and things like that, but girl, that's what backup cameras are for. I can see what's going on right here. I have a new respect for the men on the road, the men and the women in the trucks. I have a new respect for them. But I never have been a disrespectful driver. I pay attention. I don't follow closely behind people just because you don't know what the person in the car in front of you is doing. Simply put. Okay? But I was thinking, how did I come to this place? And I remember one instance. So this is how I came to. I don't go to sleep. First of all, I get car sick. So if I'm sitting on this side of the car, like if I'm sitting in the passenger side, especially in the back seat, I'm gonna get sick. Like it feels like I'm gonna throw up, my head starts hurting. It's probably a combination of the car sickness is probably anxiety. Because honey, I was like 17, 18 years old. 17, I was 17 because I was coming here to go to our institute, and I was driving with, I couldn't drive at the time, so I wasn't even in the rotation for drivers, but it was two other people and they were driving, and they were both, one of them didn't want to drive and the other one was like, I don't want to drive either, but I'm not sleepy. The other person was sleepy because they drove 16 hours, so they did a trip to Louisiana and back, all in the same loop to come and get me. But I couldn't drive, so I couldn't relieve them of their, of their tiredness. But I was sleepy too because I had been waiting and doing all kind of stuff. So both of them didn't want to drive. One of them ended up driving, and I remember falling asleep. Now we are on the way. At this point, we're on the way back to Louisiana, and I have to go to school in the morning. So they had to leave at a certain time that night. They had to leave early in the morning to get me to school in the morning because my grandma didn't want me to be late to school, rightfully so. It was my senior year, so I needed to finish everything how I needed to finish it. I probably shouldn't have left with them, but it almost cost me my life. So we're driving, it's early in the morning, and most accidents happen on the road between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. I learned that in CDL school. I didn't know that, but I do know that accidents tend to happen early in the morning like that. And not knowing that information, like not knowing the statistic, but knowing that, I usually don't drive at those hours of the morning. But like I said, hey, there's Buc-ee's. On this particular time, I didn't know how to drive, and I was driving with other people, so I had no choice. So I'm going to sleep in the back seat because I'm incredibly tired. It's still in the wee hours of the morning. Honey, not only am I going to sleep, but the driver's going to sleep too. Tazia, how do you know that the driver is going to sleep? When you pull off to the side of the road, you hear that, and they have those things there to wake drivers up. Okay? Yeah, I heard that, and I'm like, what is going on? And sis is going to sleep, veering off the road. And no, she's very much not aware that she's falling asleep. And the person next to her is asleep. And then I'm sleeping in the back. So guess what? It was about to be 3 sleep dead people in this car. So I do not go to sleep when people are driving me. For Greyhound, when I rode the Greyhound bus, when I went on the cruise recently, me and a friend me and a friend, the girl from a group. I didn't know her at the time, but she and I rode the bus to Florida. Honey, I ain't go to sleep not one time. No ma'am, no sir. I'm not drinking, I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna be up watching you ride this, but just in case I have to say, psst, psst, wake up driver, just in case I have to do that, I'm not going to sleep. And another time I was taking a shuttle, and the shuttle driver, y'all know the shuttle drivers, like, this was in Atlanta. Well, this was in Augusta. The shuttle driver was driving to Atlanta. They work shifts, and they kind of just, for their whole shift, they're doing this drive over and over again. And when you drive when you drive the same road repetitively, like when you do it a lot, your brain doesn't have to work as hard. So you're more likely to run into something because you're less alert, because your brain remembers it. Like when you drive home, you can basically drive home without using too much of your brain. You know what I mean? Because it's just memory. Like you're doing it subconsciously. So these people do this route all day long. I mean, for their whole shift. So they probably do it about 4 times. That's a lot of driving. It's a lot of driving on the same exact road. Child, this driver was falling asleep. The shuttle driver was falling asleep. And once again, it's early in the morning, and it's a time when everybody is asleep. So everybody was kind of conked out, and I was like, are you okay? Like, wake up. Because I don't want to miss my train because you can kill us all. So I don't fall asleep when people are driving. I think that's where that came from. And then I think where being scared of hills came from. So when I was growing up, my mom used to drive a manual. And I remember when we used to live in Kansas, they have a great deal of hills and things like that. I remember one time we were driving through and they had like rocks on each side. And I remember seeing like this sign that said rocks may fall. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell. Why rocks gotta be falling? Why couldn't they make a road somewhere where rocks don't fall? This is my child mind was thinking, right? So I remember her parking on the hill one time, and whenever you used to go on like a little slope like this, the car would roll back slightly. Now at that time, like I'm a kid, I don't know that all cars don't do that. And what happens is, I learned this because in CDL school, you have to slightly raise your foot off the clutch before you put the car in a certain gear. Slightly raise your foot before you like move the car to go forward. It's complicated. Manual. I don't know why someone would sign up to drive a manual car, but whatever. And when she used to get on hills, the car used to roll backwards. So in my mind, all up until now, up until the other day, I thought that if you park on a hill, your car can roll backwards. And my husband tried to explain it to me, but I refuse to believe otherwise. So whenever I get on the hill, like let's say I'm on a bridge or something like that, and the car is like there's traffic, and I'm in the part of the bridge where I have to be like this, honey, anxiety, like I could be like 10 times, okay? So really, like I always say, anxiety is just it's usually information that you have received that you don't have understanding over. So what is the best cure for anxiety is understanding. In all thy getting understanding. I told you that the Bible was the best cure, the best anxiety cure, okay? But even before that, I mean, I didn't get a cure, honey. I wasn't cured. Before I understood that you have to get understanding, I was uncured. But now I know. So every place that I have a fear, I am excited to gain understanding. And I didn't think, going into this, I didn't think that was a spot that, like, I wasn't thinking that would help me with that, but it has. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every single place that my mind aligns with my actual, like, with life. You know what I mean? Like, God blows my mind. He really does. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the next place I can get a little understanding, honey. Because I need all the understanding I can get, because anxiety is not going to sit here and rule my life and make decisions for me. I am not going to make fear-based decisions. And for you too, like, medication can't give you understanding. It can't. It can sedate you. It can sedate you. It can get you to a place where you can be still. But more often than not, it tends to make things worse, because now you're still without understanding. Oh, Jesus. Honey, that'll preach all alone. That will give you a word all alone. Now you are still. Now you have a still mind without understanding. And it's almost like it will terrorize you at that point. I refuse. I told you I got a prescription for anxiety medicine about, at this point, what, 2 years ago? And I never took it. I did not get a peace about it. I didn't. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I would still be trying to wean myself off medication, and I wouldn't be getting the understanding that I really need to heal me. Okay? The divine understanding that I really need, that will heal me. That will heal me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me put my music back on. If I think of something else while I'm driving, I'll let y'all know. I'll be here. Home, sweet home. It smells so good in here, and it's really clean. So shout out to my husband for that. It's really clean in here. Looks like I've been cleaning. I'm at home. All right, let me get some water, use the restroom, and I am about to go skating. I'm about to end this video. I just finished rollerblading, and man, it felt so good. And can I just tell you, the gratitude, you see that? Can I tell you that gratitude brings about change? The spirit of gratitude, to be grateful. If you can just find something in your life that you're grateful for, dig deep and search hard for it. Don't be one of those people who come, to the end of their life and they never showed their gratitude towards the people around them, that they never gave gratitude towards grace that saved them. They never put respect and gratitude towards anything aside for You know, they just did stuff for their own personal gain. Went 30 minutes, and y'all know I've been trying to get past the skating block of 10 minutes without taking a break. I almost went 30 minutes today, and I haven't skated since I've been gone. And it was just when I was skating, I just seemed like, why can't I do this? Like, I should be able to go further and faster. But it was when the thing that I really like to do, that I enjoy to do, is taken away from me. I came back to it, and I'm grateful. And that's a small thing. You know, it's a small thing to be able to say, you know what, God, thank you for my health. Thank you that I have movement in my body. Thank you that my legs can move. Thank you that my heart is healthy enough to be able to get out and do those things. I got this gratitude not just from an accomplishment, a skating accomplishment, but I just drove 4 hours and I made it home safely. And I'm grateful for that. And I just left home and in pursuit of an opportunity, and I'm grateful to have a family that will support me in moving around and doing whatever I want to do, really, whatever my heart desires to do. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for every single person that tuned in to watch this video. We're almost at 400 subscribers, and it might not be a lot to some people, but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the words that come out of my mouth, you will listen to them, like you care about what I have to say. I am grateful for that. So I am going to edit up this video for you guys. It's super, super long, and I haven't even added in all the clips yet. But I enjoyed making this. I enjoyed this journey. And stay tuned to see what's up next, okay? Like I always say, I make no promises. The only promise that I make is that I will be true to myself in any situation. The situation might change, but me going into it never will. So I thank you guys. I hope you're living your dreams, and I'll see you guys in the next video.